my mum said to me, oh, go to this yard thing, it looks really good, and it took me ages, and eventually I went, oh, let's just see what it's all about. And I went in and I felt so out of place, because it was just like, this place was just unbelievable. It was so thriving and so busy. And I walked in and I looked at Sadie, and I didn't obviously know her then, and she sort of, she looked at me and she saw that I was a bit lost, and she sort of grabbed my hand, and I was just like, hi, I heard there's an open mic, because I already had to pre-book it by ringing up. The whole night was just spectacular. I mean, this kind of open mic you get here is very rare, to have so many people listening to you and then paying respects to you at the end. It's gonna get kind of depressing, not depressing, but kind of going back through my life and stuff, because I was like, I wasn't treated very well at school, and I realised, because I got my defence mechanism for not being treated very nice. I never got beaten up or anything, but my defence mechanism was going numb, so I couldn't feel anything that they were saying about me. So I realised that at some point I could make words rhyme and stuff, and I could like write poems and stuff. So, because I could always play the piano, like my mum threw me into piano and stuff, eventually I could like start putting music to it, and they got from like really bad songs, like really depressing stuff, and then I slowly but surely figured out how to put songs together. So yeah, I don't really have a genre. I just get inspired by anything, as long as I can, like, it's got a good melody to it and a good beat. There's no limits really. When you've gone through something yourself, written about it, talked about your problems and got salvation by the end of it, and then you go and play to a crowd, and somebody comes up to you at the end, even if it's just one person out of 20 or 30 that says, that really spoke to me, that song, who's that by? And you go, you. That's like, it's like unbelievable. So I guess that's why I do it.
Yeah, I'm Joseph Lofthouse. I started playing keys when I was about 4, and about 10 years ago I just kind of picked up the guitar and fell in love with that. Naturally didn't want to play the instrument that my parents had been paying lessons for, and picked up the one that was just lying around the house, and that kind of led to me writing my own songs, and I kind of just started taking it seriously when I was at university and gigging around the open mic scene there.
And is it sensible to carry on if we carry on this way?
I've always been very kind of deeply connected with music anyway. Even when I was a kid, apparently I was obsessed with it. But I get chills and that kind of thing listening to music as it stands, and performing it is just another experience. On top of that, it's like, it's very addictive. But I love creating stuff. I've got a very active mind. The riffs and the melodies come freely, so it'll just be like, oh, that's great, and I'll store it away in my head, or if it's a lyric I'll write it down, and then if it's a lyric I'll already have a melody for the lyric as I've written the line, and then from there on it's kind of piecing together stuff. Sometimes a song will take 2 years, and sometimes it'll take me half an hour. A couple of songs I've written recently have been quite sort of the moment personally, so they came out very quickly, whereas other ones take a little bit longer. Hearing when a room is listening. So I cut my teeth at open mic nights, and I always knew that a song was doing something right when everything went a bit quieter. And that moment for me, when I know I've got everyone in the room and they're listening into what I've written, which is so nice. Like, it's such a huge thing to experience as a musician. And hopefully one day people will sing my songs back to me, but for the time being, that's my kind of, that's my drug, as it were. I've obviously played gigs where people have been sat down to eat, but it's more of a sit in the corner and play jazz kind of thing. So this is a new one, it's a unique one. But just from the way that it sounded, when Sadie described it to me, I was on board. It sounds like it's going to be a lovely gig. I'm sure it will be.
Oh, I can almost see it now.
My name's Chris Pookah. I've been playing music, I've been kind of playing guitar since I was about 15. On and off, sort of picked it up and put it down several times before I started getting fully into it. And I've been playing live for now about 15-20 years, writing my own stuff. It's the buzz, actually, kind of thrill of it. It took me quite a while to work up the confidence to get out and start singing, and then found my voice eventually, which was a bit hidden, shall we say. And yeah, after that it was just the real thrill, real enjoyment of playing live and getting some nice feedback from people, and the need for wanting songs to come out and expressing yourself in that way. I really enjoy this sort of intimate setting when you're up close and personal with an audience. Like here at the Yard, it's quite special with that because it's a big enough sized room, but also the people that are there are right in front of you. And it's like I said, yeah, it's really intimate, and you kind of feel a part of the show yourself. Makes it a bit more special, I think, than I've played to bigger audiences before, and although it's good fun as well, for me it's always nice to have a little smaller audience and be a part of it, and it's a bit more special, a bit of a one-off. I write new things all the time, really. It's the perseverance to finish a song. I find some of them come in one sitting. You can have it in half an hour, the song's written. Other ones take a few days to come, or you get little snippets, or you work on something. I don't have any real set way of working it. Sometimes I start with the guitar part first, or another instrument if I'm playing maybe ukulele or a bit of mandolin or something. And other times I have a lyric that comes to me that I have to find music for it. So I don't have one set way of doing it. I just kind of, when it's in my head, it has to come out somewhere or another, and that's what I go by. My mum was a total jazz head, and jazz crooners like Johnny Mathis and Matt Monro and obviously Frank Sinatra. And my dad was more into older folky stuff, as well as like marching bands and military bands and all sort of that. My older brothers, they were into kind of heavier rock stuff, so I was kind of in the middle. And luckily, I think I came out all right anyway.